Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Nez Nation Live. It is so awesome to see you guys. I have not been live in a hot minute. September has been quite the month for your boy Nez. I had the shingles for like 3-4 weeks. I had to get a colonoscopy due to a little scare there. Thank God, God Almighty. Thank you. I love you, God. And thanks to you guys. Everything is okay. And I made it out of September into October with a clean bill of health. So it's so awesome to see you guys. Let me know where you're joining me from, what city, what state, what country. We have such a vast audience here. People from New Zealand, the UK, Europe, South America, North America, Antarctica. I mean, you name it. We've got people from Singapore, from India. It's so awesome. Canada. It's so awesome to see you guys and have you guys with us. We've got a lot. I've got so much to cover today, especially regarding, we're just a few weeks away from a huge election coming up. I'm telling you right now, folks, one of the biggest ones for my state of California. I'm just going to say it right now. Vote no on Prop 50. Vote no on Prop 50. Okay, if you live in California, no, capital N-O on Prop 50. Everybody in the comments right now, write no on 50. Because what that does, if Prop 50 passes, it's going to give greasy American psycho Newsom all the power to gerrymander and rig this election and take it away from the people. We don't want that. You don't want that. I don't want that. This guy wants to make America, California, my golden state. With my brother in arms, Spencer Pratt, and others, we're trying to fight really, really hard to get back. This state is worth fighting for. It's the most beautiful state, the most beautiful weather, the most beautiful things to do, the most beautiful energy, cultivation. I mean, it's fantastic. We got desert, we got snow, we got beach. We got a wide assortment of different types of flavors, people, backgrounds, et cetera, et cetera. It's worth fighting for. And so I've got a lot to share with you today. Today is a really, really big day in news. I'm going to cover the arrest of arson suspect in the deadly Palisades fire. This guy who set malicious fires. This was the biggest, most tragic fire in LA history, in California state history, maybe number 2 in state history, but definitely in LA history. And you're going to want to find out what the gory, gruesome details are behind this person's mentality. I'm not sure if this guy has been deemed a far radical leftist, but all arrows allegedly are pointing towards, yes, left-wing violence in this country has gotten absolutely out of control. Let me hit an amen in the comments if you're with me on that. It is so awesome to see you guys. Thank you, Jim Barron. We got the greatest mods of all time. Let me not scream into the microphone here. Let me know how the audio is, mods. Thank you, Jim. JB, it's so great to see you guys. It's been way too long. Laura Tilford, Earl Shaner, it's so great to see everybody here. No on 50. Thank you. Absolutely no on 50. Lori G, it's fantastic to see you. So here is, I'm going to share this with you. Here is U.S. District Attorney Bill Asaley with the actual announcement. Check this out right now.
Today, we are announcing the arrest of 29-year-old Jonathan Rinderknecht for igniting a fire that ultimately burned down the Palisades earlier this year, killing 12 people, destroying more than 6,800 structures, both homes and businesses, and damaging over 1,000 more buildings. The complaint unsealed today charges the defendant with destruction of property by means of fire, a felony that carries a mandatory minimum 5-year federal prison sentence and is punishable by up to 20 years in federal prison.
Amen to that. I say amen to that. And I'm going to give you the full breakdown of who this person is, which it's really kind of scary. But I'm going to share this quick video from January 8th of this year, early this year. using a still burning home as his backdrop. Here is greasy Gavin Newsom claiming that, well, the reason that we have this fire, well, it's all because of, it's not because we failed to actually provide the necessary resources. It's not that we failed to refill the reservoir. It's not that we failed to clear the brush, which President Trump in his first term in 2018 told Greasy Gavin, and then officials, Jim Brown was there, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, it just makes me so upset. It makes me so mad. It's not the fault of the fact that the fire hydrants were empty. It's not Mayor Do-Nothing Karen Bass's fault. She went to Ghana when all signs were pointing toward a major calamity going to hit California. No. Here is Gavin Newsom right here, that this was all due to climate change. Listen to greasy Gavin Newsom right here and tell me what you think of this. Hold on one second. Holy macadamia nut. I miss you guys so much. It's so great to see you guys. Here is greasy Gavin Newsom himself. Listen closely.
This is anomalous. Even, I remember Paradise happened in November. I mean, so there's no fire season in California. It's year round. But to have this level, the acuity of fires is without precedent. These winds are without precedent. And the challenge is these winds are going to continue on and off, a little bit less intense. Last night, you got 80, 90-mile-an-hour winds. These guys were just up there to try to mitigate the embers going 2 miles and getting just to go a quarter of a mile to try to save some.
What is the situation with the water? Obviously, in Palisades, ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter in this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, just when you have a system that's not dissimilar to what we've seen in other extraordinarily large-scale fires, whether it be pipe, electricity, or whether it just be the complete overwhelm of the system. I mean, those hydrants are typical for 2 or 3 fires, maybe 1 fire. You have something at this scale, but again, that's going to be determined by the local authorities.
Okay, but wait a minute. Okay, he says it's typical for just a couple of fires. But you know what? You guys knew about this. We've had multiple wildfires every single year burning. It was over 7,000 structures. 12 people lost their lives. And what's he busy doing day in and day out? He's busy Trump-proofing. Okay, I am suing President Trump and doing God knows what else. Okay, I'm going to share this. Here is the actual suspect right here, okay? And I'm going to give some breakdown on this individual. So 29-year-old Uber driver obsessed with dystopian imagery, quote, despair and bitterness, end quote. This is the guy who's charged with maliciously sparking the Palisades fire 9 months after the most destructive wildfire in Los Angeles history erupted. His name's Jonathan Rindernuck, whatever the hell that means, or I don't know what kind of name that is. He's accused of setting a brush fire January 1st that was put out, but then smoldered unnoticed underground for days before igniting the raging Palisades inferno. But Newsom says it's climate change. We are number 1 in homelessness. We're number 1 in unemployment. We have the largest budget deficit in state's history, the largest exodus of small businesses, medium businesses, large businesses, and residents in the history of our country, the largest tax rates in the history of our state, the largest illegal border invasion in the history of our state. And this guy is gallivanting on a podcast, thinking he's a social media influencer, posting on X, trying to out-meme the king of memes, our president, President Trump, failing abysmally, and the Democrats are hailing him as the new leader of the Democrat Party. Are you out of your freaking minds? And if we vote yes on 50, again, vote no on 50. If you vote yes on 50, it will be the end of California as we know it. 12 people dead. $150 billion in damages. The Palisades blaze, which was sparked by the Lackman fire, went on to level more than 6,000 homes and buildings in the coastal enclave. Rinderknecht, I don't know if I'm saying that right, who lived in that area, allegedly ignited the flames near the popular hiking trail in the hillside of State park overlooking the neighborhood at about 12 a.m. on New Year's Day, just moments after dropping off his Uber passengers. The passengers later recalled Rinderknecht appearing, quote, agitated and angry, end quote, the Fed said. After arriving at the hiking trail, Rinderknecht allegedly filmed the scene on his phone and listened to a rap song by French artist Jasmine. I have no idea whose that is, whose music video features him setting things on fire. Rinderknecht had watched the same music video repeatedly in the days leading up to the fire, according to court papers. So, I mean, this guy has got serious problems. Obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if this guy had they haven't determined yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if this guy had serious radical left-leaning ideologies. I really wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Okay, continuing here. He is believed to have then fled down the hiking path where he called 911 to report the blaze, authorities said. And he was on the phone to dispatchers. He typed, quote, "Are you at fault if a fire is lit because of your cigarettes?" into ChatGPT. That's what he apparently wrote into ChatGPT. Rinderknecht allegedly drove away from the scene, but turned around to follow the responding fire trucks back on the scene. This is so sadistic. And then watched on and recorded several videos as crews battled the blaze, according to court filings. The videos were among a trove of evidence discovered on his phone. Oh, wait till I show you this. And then months before the blaze in July, Rinderknecht had ChatGPT generate a grim, quote, dystopian, end quote, image of a burning city, according to the criminal complaint. In ChatGPT, he requested a dystopian painting divided into distinct parts that blend together seamlessly. On the far left, there is the burning forest. Next to it, a crowd of people is running away from the fire, leading to the middle, the complaint said. So I'm going to show you that image in just a second here. Let me first, I'm going to show you this image right here, which is really haunting. And this is the image right here that apparently he typed into ChatGPT, and you can kind of see it's a divide in the image, and it's scary. It's just freaky is what it is. The Palisades fire erupted around the same time as the Eaton fire, which killed 19 people, but authorities haven't yet disclosed the cause. Both fires crippled the region for weeks. Rinderknecht was interviewed by investigators shortly after the blaze, but allegedly lied to investigators at the time about his location. During the January 24th interview, Rinderknecht had told investigators where the fire began, which was information that hadn't been yet made public, and that he wouldn't have known if he hadn't witnessed it. He allegedly lied about his location, claiming he was near the bottom of the hiking trail at the time. He was finally arrested in Florida on Tuesday and will now be transferred back to California to stand trial. Rinderknecht, who officials said has no criminal history, faces charges including malicious destruction by means of fire. The finding that the Palisades fire was intentionally set could allow prosecutors to seek the death penalty. Federal arson charges already carry harsh mandatory minimum sentences that range from 5 to 20 years, but are even stricter if it leads to injury or death. How many of you in the comments right now? How many of you in the comments right now? And I got to share this with you too, because this is just absolutely disgusting. This guy, Gavin Newsom, is one of the most dangerous individuals to ever hold office. How many of you guys would be for a capital punishment for this Rinderknecht? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. Here is a letter where Governor Newsom, who hasn't done a damn thing for wildfire victims, there hasn't been one piece of brick, wood, any rebuild, no permits. Remember when Trump visited Karen Bass and said, we got to get going. We got to get going on this right away. And he was absolutely right. And she was like, oh, yeah, we're going to do it. Nothing. What has she done? She's been fighting for illegal criminals. What has she done? She's been fighting ICE, fighting law enforcement officials, demonizing them, and God knows what else. Well, check this out. Newsom just vetoed a bill that would have given forestry and fire raises and bonuses to firefighters. And he actually vetoed it, claiming that this would create significant cost pressures for the state and circumvent the collective bargaining process, while he spends hundreds of millions of our taxpayer dollars on what? Fighting President Trump, which in turn equates to fighting the will of the American people, because we made our choice. We made our voices resoundingly heard on November 5th, 2024. So you defy Trump, you're defying the will of the American people. You're defying the election process. You're defying the principles and values imbued in our democratic republic. That's just a fact. That's who Newsom is. And wait till you see. I've got so much to share with you. Holy macadamia nut. I've got so much to share with you. Wait till you see what I'm going to share with you what Kevin Kiley has to say, who is the congressman from California who actually understands what common sense is. And then I'm going to share with you this video of Gavin Newsom's Marshall Plan. Whatever happened to Gavin Newsom's Marshall Plan that he said 8 months ago, 9 months ago, he was going to implement? He has a team reimagining LA 2.0 as he puts his hands up and dances bizarrely and strangely. God knows what this American psycho is on 24/7. And then I'm going to share with you, this has been blowing up the internet. Leading California Democrat gubernatorial candidate Katie Porter is breaking the internet as she storms out of an interview where she was simply asked a question that would have, you think the Democrats are all about inclusiveness. It was a question regarding, how do you reach out across the aisle to people who disagree with you? Watch this internet breaking viral reaction. This is the leading Democratic candidate for governor of our state. She's almost, I'm going to say almost, because nobody's quite as bad as Newsom, but she's almost as bad as Gavin Newsom. And then the coup de grace, this video just came out. I've got so much to share with you, but the coup de grace, Hakeem, nobody's dream Jeffries, absolutely malfunctions. He has a brain malfunction when he is confronted to his face, and he's not in his usual cushy ice cream softball question MSDNC studio. He actually gets a little bit of pushback from Republican Mike Lawler about the government shutdown, and he gets absolutely schooled while cameras are rolling. This is the video of the day. Besides everything else I'm going to share with you, the coup de grace that I'm going to share with you at the end, stick around for that. I promise you, you're going to absolutely love it. Let me get a never Newsom in the comments. Everybody right now, write never Newsom in the comments right now. Here is Kevin Kiley, who talks about this ridiculous funneling of money that Newsom is doing, gerrymandering healthcare for illegal immigrants, a non-existent high-speed train rail, all the things that Newsom has money for, but he says it's too costly to raise money for firefighters or support for foster kids or funding Prop 36, which the people voted on. So I'm going to play for you this really, really quickly. And you have to see this because this is very, very good right here. Okay, so hold on one second. I'm going to share this. Check this out. This is awesome.
Is atrocious. I mean, if there's anyone who deserves a raise, it's our firefighters. We actually need to have more firefighters. There have been recruitment issues assuring that they're fully staffed. And Gavin Newsom seems to have money for everything other than our own citizens, and especially the most deserving of our citizens. So he says that he vetoed this bill because it's too costly. But as you said, at the exact same time, he's to gerrymander the state to the hilt. Or how about the fact that he's spent $20 billion, north of $20 billion, over 2 years providing free health care for illegal immigrants in California, the only state to do that. Or the high-speed train, $20 billion he just committed to over the next 20 years. And yet he can't find room in the budget for a raise for our firefighters. He can't find room in the budget. He had to cut funding. He said he cut funding for foster kids because it was too expensive. Yet he has money for all of these other political vanity projects and other things that are actually actively harmful to our state.
Never mind the fact that he's spending God knows how much of our hard-earned taxpayer dollars trying to out-mean Trump with his Governor Newsom press office account on X, posting all sorts of egregious, violent, vulgar, repugnant posts about our country, about our law enforcement officials, about ICE, about Secretary Noem, about Pam Bondi, about our director of FBI, Kash Patel, and the list goes on. Our America First team and policy and agenda enforcers. Again, representatives of the people. You're supposed to serve the public. You're a public servant. These people work for us. He does anything but. He does everything that serves his own interest. He does everything that serves his own means. And I guarantee you, this haircut that passes for a man is going to run for president in 2028. And thank God J.D. Vance is going to whomp that ass, because we know that's going to happen. Give me an amen in the comments right now if you're with me. Oh, and by the way, whatever happened, Newsom? Whatever happened to your Marshall Plan? I'm really curious. Whatever happened to your Marshall Plan, Governor Newsom? Check this out. Remember this? About 8 months ago? Whatever happened to it, Newsom? I'm confused. Can you explain it to us? Whatever happened to this?
For California and this community to shine, the opportunity with all of that, and all that opportunity and that pride and spirit that comes from not just hosting those 3 iconic games and venues, but also the opportunity, I think, to rebuild at the same time. And that's why we're already organizing a Marshall Plan. We already have a team of looking and reimagining LA 2.0, and we're making sure everyone's included, not just the folks on the coast, people here that were ravaged by this disaster.
You just said you're organizing a Marshall Plan for the rebuilding of California. What is that Marshall Plan? Tell us about this Marshall Plan.
We're just starting to lay out. I mean, we're still fighting these fires. So we're already talking to city leaders. We're already talking to civic leaders. We're already talking to business leaders and nonprofits. We're talking to labor leaders. We're starting to organize how we can put together a collection of individuals on philanthropy for recovery, how we can organize the region, how we can make sure that we are seeking federal assistance for the Olympics more broadly, but also federal assistance for the recovery efforts, and how we can galvanize the community.
Oh, you're so full of crap. I mean, it's just, that was nine months ago. That was 9 months ago. And where has it gone? Where has it gone? Well, I don't know. This is what it looks like today. This is what it looks like today. Where is the Marshall Plan? Where's rebuilding? Where's LA 2.0? Where's this? We're going to galvanize. What we're going to do is we're going to galvanize Mr. Jazz Hands. We're going to get everybody together. We're going to just get in a big bowl of ice cream and have a good old time. You sorry sack. You're a sorry sack. And you've got the liberal apparatus to completely back you up. Anybody who believes a word of this vile snake, you need a lobotomy ASAP. No on 50. Well, there it is. There's LA 2.0. Now, I can't confirm this, but a lot of people are calling this a big land grab, that that's what Newsom was doing the whole time. This was all based on a land grab. And I don't know, maybe there's some truth to that. I haven't been able to verify it, but I would love to get your thoughts on this. Let me know what you think. But again, the bottom line here is that there is a suspect who has been arrested. Again, 29-year-old Uber driver who posted all sorts of weird things before. And I'm just going to read for you what acting U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley posted on X. Today we're announcing, just recap really quickly before we move on to the next story. Today we're announcing the arrest. 29-year-old Jonathan Rinderknecht on a criminal complaint charging him with maliciously starting what became the Palisades fire in January. The complaint alleges that Rinderknecht started a fire in Pacific Palisades on New Year's Day, a blaze that eventually turned into one of the most destructive fires in Los Angeles history, causing death and widespread destruction. Among the evidence that was collected from his digital devices was an image he generated on ChatGPT depicting a burning city. Acting U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley goes on to say, while we cannot undo the damage and destruction that was done, we hope his arrest and the charges against him bring some measure of justice to the victims of this horrific tragedy. Rinderknecht's initial appearance is scheduled for today at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time in U.S. District Court in Orlando. Rinderknecht is presumed innocent until proven guilty. So, huge embarrassment. It's not climate change, Newsom. It's not strange, bizarre winds caused by the ozone layer. No, it seems very abundantly clear that this was intentional, this was malicious, and you have not allocated and you deprived California residents, you deprived hardworking taxpaying citizens the resources, the support, the only task you have, the only job you have, and you have failed. Gross negligence, and you have failed miserably. And now that we know for sure it's not climate change and we have an actual suspect, I am now calling for your immediate resignation, Newsom. Resign effective immediately and give back the state of California to the people who deserve it. No on 50. Okay. I can't wait to get your comments on that. Holy macadamia nut. What an absolute travesty. This state could be so amazing if we didn't have such utter incompetence running it. It just absolutely drives me crazy. It just absolutely drives me crazy. Okay. Next up. So this video has been breaking the absolute internet. It's just been going viral. It's one of the most talked about videos, and I can't wait to share this with you. Katie Porter, who is the lead gubernatorial candidate for the Democrats to become the next governor of California. Oh God, please no, I hope not. I want you to watch this video, which to me just exemplifies the radical entitlement, the narcissism, everything that I've been trying to tell you guys. I know these people. I've worked with these people. They're all academics in competent, creative, actual innovative people's clothes. They're not actually creative. They're not actually innovative. They haven't built a single thing their entire lives. They're absolute abysmal failures that think that a piece of paper, a PhD, actually means something. So they look down at you and they say, yeah, of course we picked our own candidate. You didn't pick Kamala. We picked Kamala because we know what's good for you. Yeah, of course we had a vegetable in chief as president who didn't make any decisions. We went ahead and made decisions for you, even though you didn't elect us. We went ahead and made decisions with the auto pen. This is what they think of you. And they spied now. I just did a video on this. They were caught red-handed spying on, it's 10 times worse than Watergate. And I know what you're thinking. We want accountability. We want accountability. I'm hoping to God it's coming. But I'm trying to be patient. But this video of California's Katie Porter absolutely losing it during an interview, to me, says it all. Check this out right here.
Say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win.
How would I need them in order to?
Hold on a second. Let me start that over. Okay. Here is the video right here. Here we go. Check it out.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, ma'am?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't
I
think
feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
Correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered our follow-ups.
I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And
Porter,
we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never
reporter.
had to do this before, ever.
You've never had to have a conversation with
to end an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of I'm me? I'm running for governor because I'm a leader. So I am going to make...
So you're not going to answer questions from reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you. And I don't want this all on camera.
Then answer the question.
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you either. I would love to continue to ask these questions so that we can show our viewers what every candidate feels about every one of these issues that they care about. And redistricting, it's a massive issue. We're going to do an entire story just on the responses to that question. And I've asked everybody the same follow-up questions.
Okay, so my God, what an absolute entitled, narcissistic, unqualified, treasonous, venomous monster this person is. So I just want to back this up. Okay, so just in case you missed it, okay, the first question that she asked was something that regards reaching out across the aisle. Are you going to try to reach out in order to win the California governorship? What are you going to do about the high percentage, it's probably more than 40%, of Trump voters out there? What are you going to do to win them over? And then listen to her response. This is how the interview starts. I want to deconstruct this really quickly.
What do you say to the 40% of...
What do you say to the 40%, which is literally a microcosm of, that essentially symbolizes half the country, if not more than half the country, because President Trump won the popular vote. And if it wasn't for Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego, he would have turned California red in a heartbeat. What do you have to say to the 40% in order to win them over? And her response, her first response, because she backpedals later, she backpedals and she's like, well, no, but I want to end this interview because I'm used to MSNBC, I'm used to CNN, I'm used to NBC, I'm used to CBS, I'm used to everybody kowtowing and throwing me ice cream puppy dog questions that are soft and that make me look good. And this doesn't make me look good. So I want to leave, just like all Democrats. And wait till you see what Hakeem does. He absolutely loses his mind in the next clip.
California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump.
How would I need them in order to win, man?
That says it all right there. Let that leaning in and scrunching her face. This is the expression. This is the expression, my fellow Americans. That expression right there is the same expression that your boy Nez has seen time and time again in the hallways and byways. When I worked in the public sector for 10 plus years as a university professor, I was running businesses before that. I decided to quit the rat race in my late 20s, early 30s, went into the public sector. I thought it would be a nice change of pace. Boy, was I wrong. Not only was it not a nice change of pace, but it was the most cutthroat, ruthless, backstabbing, soulless group of individuals. Faculty, deans, chairs of these universities are some of the worst scum. This is where Obama spawned from, Hillary spawned from, Kamala spawned from. They're all academics in sheep's clothing. They're all academics. That face right there is the face of look down your nose. How dare you question me? I'm so much better than you. I'm an elitist leftist. And you, pitiful peasant American who rolls his sleeves up and gets dirty and blood, sweat, and tears and works, you're the backbone of our nation. You do what I say. That face right there, that is the face of liberal elitism personified. 1 billion%. Why would I need
unless you think you're going to get 60%.
Look at that ridiculous, egocentric cackle, that insincere, inauthentic. What are you laughing at? What's so funny? You're not laughing because you're genuinely enjoying or experiencing mirth. No, you're not experiencing mirth or a buoyance. No, that is a fake, narcissistic, pedantic, self-absorbed, self-interested, scummy, inauthentic, used car salesman laugh.
Of the vote. You think you'll get 60%? Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's
What a cocky SOB. Yeah, of course I'm going to win. I don't need anybody. I don't need Trump voters. These are the people who are saying, oh, why don't you reach across the aisle? Why don't you unite with us? Why don't you help us out? Why don't you work with us? You want us to work with you when you're shooting us? You're killing us. You're attempting to assassinate us. You're calling us Nazis, garbage, deplorables, threat to democracy, constitutional crisis. And you act like this? Look down your nose, elitist pond scum, unwarranted, egocentric narcissism? You want us to work with you?
you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
Wow.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. And so I'm going to do the very best I can.
I have the support in terms of name. I don't even know who the hell you are, Katie Porter. Who are you? Nobody knows you. Where do you get this undeserved cockiness? Where do you get this unwarranted hubris? I don't get it.
To make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you
Wow.
I feel like this is unnecessary argument.
I feel like
What
this
is
is
your question?
unnecessary. Yeah.
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
Correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy.
I don't need them to win. No. I understand that. Now you can almost see the mechanism in her brain. There's like a small fragment, like a molecule left in her entire soulless body of, you know what, I'm starting to sound very arrogant and ridiculous and preposterous. I don't need anybody to win. I don't need Republicans. I don't need Trumpsters. They look down. They look down at anybody who disagrees with them. Our country, Charlie Kirk embodied everything that our country was about. Non-judgmental engagement in discourse, debate, the combative yet respectful collision of ideas, philosophies, ideologies. That's true reaching across. That is true. And that's why he won. That's why he built one of the biggest empires known to man when it came to really, truly galvanizing a movement, not a fake galvanization like fake Gavin Newsom. He embodied that. It's so interesting. Again, I'm not even really right or left. I'm more of a constitutional centrist, if anything. But that's why the right. That's why anybody who's not a radical socialist, communist Democrat. I mean, basically, if you're not a radical socialist, Democrat, communist, you're considered right wing, which if that's what you want to call me, that's fine. I'm definitely not that, though. I'm definitely not a democratic socialist. She says, I don't need them. Who cares about them? Who cares about people who disagree with me? It's unbelievable.
Answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
Why are you calling it? Why are you calling it, Katie Porter? Well, because I'm actually being asked real questions, and I'm not used to that. And wait till I show with Hakeem Jeffries. But before I do, another video is going viral because Katie Porter made an absolute fool of herself in this interview, where and again, she's the leading California Democratic gubernatorial candidate, and this was back in. This was a while ago. I can't remember exactly how far, maybe a few years ago, where she argued that inflation and abortion, quote, reinforce each other because people can abort babies so they can have fewer mouths to feed. And then the MSDNC host O'Donnell says, how do inflation and abortion compare? And listen to Katie Porter's answer. You're not going to believe this. This is absolute insanity. I'm going to share this with you right now. Watch this and then come on back because I'm going to share with you what Hakeem Jeffries has a complete breakdown. Check this out first.
President Biden has said that inflation is the #1 priority for the Biden White House to try to get under control right now. As you're out there in California talking to constituents during this re-election year for Congress, how does inflation compare to this newly important, in the sense of the Supreme Court decision pending, abortion issue? How do those two issues compare?
Well, I don't think they compare. I think they actually reinforce each other. So the fact that things like inflation can happen and it can become more expensive to feed your kids and to fuel your car is exactly why people need to be able to be in charge of how many mouths they're going to have to feed. So I think the fact that we're seeing this jump in expenses, that we're seeing people having to pay more in the grocery store, pay more at the pump, pay more for housing, is a reason that people are saying, I need to be able to make my own decisions about when and if to start a family. So I don't think we're going to see them. I don't think it's about comparing them or contrasting them. I think they reinforce for people just how big of a responsibility it is to take care of a family.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. California, I'm begging you. I'm pleading with you. I beseech you. Please, let's get our Golden State back. Please, let's get our beautiful coastline, our mountains, our deserts, our gas prices, our tax rates. Let's support fighting crime. Let's support law and order. Let's support and bring back common sense values into our beautiful state. I'm begging you, California, begging you on my knees. We have to stop electing these radical socialist communists who hate America. They're so afraid of competing in the free market, free enterprise system that they're willing to let in millions. You know, they can't win elections anymore with regular American citizens. None of these people can. The Hakeems, the Schumers, the AOCs, the mentally Ilhan Omars, the Newscoms, they can't win elections anymore with actual American citizens. It's over. It's all over. They can't win. So what do? Well, I got an idea. Let's get rid of the border. Let's throw out a red carpet. Let's promise them radical amnesty. Let's promise them accelerated citizenship. Let's insult every legal immigrant who did it the right way, like my parents who came in this country in the early 70s and worked their asses off, contributed, educated themselves, worked hard, blood, sweat, and tears, didn't earn their citizenship for 15 years after they immigrated, doing everything right, going through the right ports of entry, through the right systems and processes. Let's insult every legal immigrant and just say, hey, we're not going to vet you. We're not going to track you. We're not going to screen you. But here's the catch. Here's the kicker. Here's the rub. You got to vote for us. We give you everything America can afford without any of the hard work, without earning citizenship. We'll even fight law enforcement. We'll even invent apps that tell people where ICE is so you don't get deported. We'll even create ICE-free zones. Can you believe this garbage? That Mayor Brandon Johnson, the worst mayor, even worse than Karen Bass, even more unqualified, the race-baiting, race-hustling Mayor Brandon Johnson. Can you believe this garbage that this guy's spewing? He's creating ICE-free zones. You know, I have to give full credit to Matt Walsh. I thought he brought up a great point. Could you imagine if the IRS created IRS-free zones where small businesses or residents or taxpayers could go and the IRS couldn't enter? You don't have to pay taxes. Could you imagine if Trump did something like that, created IRS-free zones for his quote-unquote billionaire friends? That's all they talk about. Could you imagine the hatred? Could you imagine every front page, every woke corporate press network covering it day in and day out? This is authoritarianism. No, but of course, Mayor Brandon Johnson, Mr. Race-baiting race hustler, he can create ICE-free zones. Make it make sense, America. Make it make sense. I'm begging you, California, no on 50 and vote red all the way down the line. Let's get our state back. For the love of God, let's get our state back. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm getting way too. I'm going to have a heart attack live on camera. This stuff gets me so upset, man. And I need you guys to tap that thumbs up. If you love America, for the love of God, tap the thumbs up. You know, I had so much more to share with you. Speaking of the woke press, I wanted to share this with you before we get to Hakeem. I wanted to share this with you from my trusty notes. This is new data that confirms that media stations, okay, are giving 0 seconds in coverage to Virginia Democrat Attorney General candidate Jay Jones. This is the guy who essentially said Republican officials and their children, he wants to shoot them and he has bullets for them. He wants to urinate on their graves. Well, check this out. The networks that actually covered this story, look at this. Look at this. 0 seconds on ABC, 0 seconds on CBS, 0 seconds on PBS, and only 63 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, only 63 seconds on NBC. Could you imagine if, I don't know, what's his name? Our guy from Ohio. I forgot his name. Not Jim Jones. I was going to say Jim Jones. But could you imagine somebody like Nancy Mace, or could you imagine somebody like Byron Donalds, or somebody like Vivek Ramaswamy, or just pick anybody who's not a Democrat? Could you imagine if the shoe was on the other foot and there were secret text messages? If you don't know this story, Jay Jones, Democrat, secret text messages, says he wanted to end and unalive his top competitor, Republican Attorney General candidate Gilbert, and his children. Those were secret text messages that revealed that he actually said that. And then he apologized, of course. And all these Democrats, none of them renounced their endorsement of him. Why? Because the truth of the matter is they do want us all dead. Look what they did to Charlie Kirk. Look what they did to President Trump. And it's going to continue. They're still demonizing. They're still using inflammatory, violent rhetoric. But could you imagine? Tell me in the comments right now, what would be the difference? What would be the difference in amount of coverage if somebody like Vivek, if somebody like Speaker Mike Johnson, or Thune, or if, let's just say Trump. Could you imagine if Trump had secret text messages saying, I would love to put a couple of bullets in Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. How much coverage do you think there would be? That's right, MG, Mountain Goddess. Jay Jones said Gilbert's wife should be holding her dying kids. Exactly. Can you imagine? Thank you so much. I'm going to get to all of you. Stick around to the end. Super chats. I'm going to get to you. What do you think the difference would be? This is living proof, y'all. This is living proof. What you see on the screen right here, this is not objective media. This is not the type of media that is supposed to be even, fair, unbiased, unskewed. It's not. It's anything but. It's completely skewed. It's completely biased. 1 billion% it is. I can't imagine if the shoe was on the other foot. Time and time again. Oh, I got a real quick clip from Nancy Pelosi, who absolutely put her foot in her mouth. I've got a great clip of Pelosi. And again, it's just living proof that if the shoe was on the other foot, right? It's just living that if the shoe was on the other foot, could you imagine what they would be saying? Listen to this. Listen to Nancy Pelosi when asked even by her allied network, CNN, about Jay Jones. Check this out.
There is a Democrat running for Attorney General who's embroiled in a scandal over text messages in which he, the Democrat, said that the GOP Speaker of the House of Delegates should get 2 bullets to the head for how he paid tribute to a former moderate Democratic lawmaker who died. He has apologized. Should he get out of the race?
Well, that's up to the people, the leaders in Virginia. They have said he has apologized. What I understand is they say that on balance, he's a better person to be Attorney General. But
on balance, he's a better person. The guy literally got caught red-handed saying he wants to put bullets. And this witch from a faraway galaxy, she doesn't even have the decency to say, you know what? Even Morning Joe, Morning Joe on MSNBC. Even Morning Joe said he should step down. I mean, the worst political hack commentator of all time, Morning Joe Scarborough, said he should resign. Pelosi says, well, I think on balance, I think he's a good guy on balance. There's a reason why he hasn't lost any endorsements, America. I'm going to say it again. I've said it once. I've said it twice. I'd said it ad infinitum, ad nauseum. The Democrat Party is evil. It's the party of chaos, violence, and murder, period. This Democrat Party would crucify Bill Clinton and moderate 90s Al Gore Democrats. This party is so radically, progressively diminished to the left that there is almost no point of return. I don't know if there is any point of return. It's scary. And the whole purpose of this show is to make common sense go viral and make sure that they never see power ever, ever again. Last but not least, man, I've got so much to show, but we're running out of time. More proof that the Democrats have nothing. More proof that the Democrats resort to violence. More proof that they have no solutions, no answers, no strategy, no vision for America. They have no track record. They have no accomplishments. They haven't done a thing. They're absolutely useless. They're the purest personification of the swamp, the deep state establishment. Here is a video. Oh, you're going to love this. Here is the video of Hakeem Nobody's Dream Jeffries getting absolutely schooled with facts about the government shutdown, who he is, what he voted for. This is what, day 8 of the government shutdown? We've got problems with air traffic controllers who are working without pay right now. A lot of them are calling in sick. We've got veterans and law enforcement officials, federal workers, federal employees alike, all getting nothing because of these Democrats, because they want to give illegal health care to illegal aliens. And this is who we're left with. This is who we're left with. So I'm going to share this video with you right now. And I want you to watch carefully and see how he gets physical. He gets aggressive towards the middle end of it. Stick around. When much kudos to Republican Mike Lawler, who absolutely just demonstrates facts to Hakeem Nobody's Dream Jeffries. And when he's not in a circumstance, when he's not in an ecosystem that completely kowtows to him, like MSNBC studio or CNN studio or what have you, he's lost. And he just resorts to getting physical and acting like a buffoon in his brain malfunctions. Watch this. Oh my God, it's so good.
From your boss.
Why don't we sign on right now?
Did your boss Donald Trump?
Easily
Boss Donald Trump
he's
give
not
you
my
permission?
boss.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. And by the way,
so let me ask you a
why
question.
did you vote to
let me
shut
ask
the
you a
government
question.
down?
You
Why
know
did you vote to shut
Let
it
me
down?
ask you a question.
For years, you always lectured about how we need to keep the government open.
You're making a show of this to
No,
make
it's
yourself
sad.
relevant.
It's sad. You could easily sign on to this.
You're embarrassing yourself
You could
right
sign
now.
on to this. The only
You're
embarrassment
chasing
here is
clout.
you.
You're an embarrassment.
You could sign on to the bill.
Let me ask you a question.
You have 4 Democrats on here.
Let me
Why
ask you a
won't you
question.
sign on
Let me ask
to
you a
it?
question.
It's a
Let
clean
me ask you
extension
a
for 1
question.
year.
You voted for the one big
Clean
ugly bill,
extension.
correct?
I voted for a
The
tax
largest-
cut bill that gave the largest tax cut
the
to
largest-
Americans in history,
the
including, by
largest-
the way, the average New Yorker getting a $4,000 tax cut. Are you against that?
You're embarrassing
Do you
yourself right
you want
now.
to cut the standard deduction in
The
half? Is that what
largest
you
cut
wanted
to
to do?
Medicaid in
No, we
American
rooted
history.
out
You voted
waste,
for that.
fraud, and abuse, by the
You
way.
voted
Tom DiNapoli, the
for a
Democratic
permanent-
controller of New York,
Let me ask you a question.
pointed out that $1.2 billion
If you're
were
gonna-
wasted.
Listen, you're not going to talk. You're not going to talk.
Look at this. Look at this.
You're not going to talk to me
fraud
and talk
and
over
non-New
me
York residents
because you don't
getting
want to
paid.
hear what I have to say.
Oh, I'm
So
listening.
why
Go
don't you
ahead.
just keep your mouth shut?
Oh,
because you
is
showed
that-
up.
is that the way to
you
talk?
showed up. You showed up.
Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut. Look at him pointing. Look at him invading his personal space. All Lawler is doing is literally going through factually, step by step, everything in the clean resolution bill, everything it includes, everything it doesn't include, what the Democrats want to keep in there, put in there, and maintain in there. And he gets physical and he gets aggressive. I'm going to rewind it a little bit. Watch that again.
Of New York.
Let me ask you a question.
Pointed out that $1.2 billion were wasted.
Listen, you're not going to talk. You're not going to talk to
wasted
me. You're not going to talk to me and talk over
non-New
me
York residents
because you don't want to
paid.
hear what I have to say.
Oh, I'm listening.
So why don't
Go
you
ahead.
just keep your mouth shut?
Oh,
Wow.
Is that the way?
Wow.
You showed up,
Yeah.
and so you voted for this one
I
big
signed
ugly
on
bill,
for this. You can extend it
a
right now.
permanent extension of massive tax breaks for your billionaire donors.
So 90% of
So
Americans.
they can get a permanent extension.
90% of
but
Americans
working
take the
class
standard
Americans
deduction.
can't? Is that right?
90% of Americans take the standard deduction.
Is that right?
If you had your way, the standard deduction would have been cut in half. That
No
would have been a
one-
massive tax increase on
Fact.
Americans. all
That's a
across
fact.
the country. You
You're
support
here,
that?
He's got nothing.
unfortunately,
You're
to
against
do
lifting the cap on
bidding
salt.
He's got
of
nothing.
billionaire donors.
The
That's
billionaire
unfortunate.
donors lifting the
That's
cap on
correct.
salt. We put a income cap in place.
Why are you here right now?
An income
Where the
cap.
re- where
Well,
the rest
didn't
of
you
your
want all
Republican
Republicans
colleagues?
to be here?
Where
I'm
the
here.
rest? Where the
He's listing facts. He's going through step by step. And this is what the Democrats have been posting on social media on X for the last week. Every single day saying, oh, where's the Republicans? They're not doing their job. We're here. Where's the Republicans? And what does the leader of the Democratic caucus say? He says, why are you here? What are you doing here? And Lawler says quite point blank, well, wait a minute. I'm here. Didn't you say you wanted me here? I'm here to talk about the bill. I'm here to try to work with you. I'm here to try to get a deal for the American people. Jeffries, he's not even a dollar store Obama. He's not even a freaking Kmart, Walmart version of Obama. He's not even a Lendtree version of Obama. He's a caricature of a caricature of a caricature of Obama. It's pathetic. He is a clown with a capital CL, clown.
rest of your
You wanted
Republican colleagues?
Republicans to be here. I'm here.
Why are you
And by
here?
the way,
What?
you can
What?
pass an ACA extension right now. Sign
your
on to this
boss-
bill.
did your boss
Sign
Donald
on
Trump-
to the bill.
Is your boss Donald Trump behind it?
I want you to notice the difference here. Lawler is going through and stipulating facts, details, specifics. This is what we can do to get this passed. Jeffries, this is the perfect representation of who the hypocrites are, aka the Democrats. He's just attacking ad hominem, personal ad hominem. What did your boss Trump? What are you doing here? You're making a fool of yourself. Did your boss Trump? That's all he can say. Did your boss Trump tell you to come here? Why are you doing here? What are you doing here? This is supposed to be the leader. This is supposed to be the leader of the Democrat. He has nothing, no substance. He has no data. He has no qualifications. He has zero skills. He doesn't have any details, no answers, no solutions, nothing but attack. That's all they do. Personal ad hominem attacks, period.
HR 5145. Why don't you get on it?
Mike, is your boss Donald Trump behind that?
Why won't you get on
Because
it?
you don't work for the American people.
Oh, I do. I work.
You don't work for the
people of
American
New York.
people.
I work for the people of my district.
Is that why you? Is that
I'm
why
here.
You got 145,000
And by the way, I voted
people
for
on
a
Medicaid.
clean CR to keep the government open
Mike,
and funded.
you're-
You voted to shut it
You're
down.
embarrassing yourself right
Yeah, leader, with all due
Well, as we
respect,
would say
you're
back
the
in Britain,
one.
why are you playing yourself?
You're the one.
Why are you playing yourself? You're embarrassing yourself. Literally, Lawler is schooling him on every single facet of the bill.
now. Why are you
Who
playing
actually
yourself with
voted
these
to shut
theatrics?
the government down.
Actually, you
It's
know
sad.
that's not true.
It's sad. You voted to shut the government
Listen,
down.
Do Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the president?
Right, and
correct?
you're smart enough to know
Is
that,
that
you
right?
need 60 votes in the Senate,
Is
right?
that right? No.
He's acting just like these ridiculous liberal influencers. I love how Lawler pushed back right there. He's been saying that on every single CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, PBS, Associated Press. He's been saying it all over. This is a Trump shutdown. I can't even do an impression. When I do an impression of Hakeem Jeffries, I feel my soul leave my body because this guy's such an automaton. He's so rigid, such a robot. He lacks warm, hot blood coursing through his veins. It's like liquid Exxon oil or whatever coursing through this guy's veins. He says this on every single media network. This is Trump shut down because they control the House, they control the Senate, and they control the executive branch. So this is all on them. And Lawler says what I've been trying to respond to all these idiot mooks who keep saying that. Lawler immediately pushes back and says, and you're smart enough to know how the government works. We need 60 Democrat votes. Love
Do
it.
you need 60 votes in the Senate
Were
or no?
60 votes needed to pass your one big ugly bill?
Reconciliation, which you
Was
did with
six-
the
were
IRA,
60
boy, that really reduced inflation.
Are you
did a
trying to
great job
elevate
there.
yourself because you're afraid
I'm not
you're
trying to
about
elevate
lose
myself.
re-election?
I'm not going to lose
Let me
re-election.
ask you
You
a
spent $42 million last cycle. You didn't do that
let me
great.
ask you a question. Why aren't you running for governor right now?
Because I actually enjoy this job, and I'm here to do it. And by the way, you could actually pass
enjoy being a
a
lackey for
subsidy
Donald
right
Trump?
now
Is that
to
right?
ensure that people don't have health care premiums going up. Why won't you support this one-year bill?
Let me ask you a question.
Tom Swazi's on it, Jared Golden,
Let me ask you a question.
Marie Glue.
He says, you're embarrassing yourself. Why don't you run for governor? You're making a fool of yourself. You're a lackey for Trump. All he's doing is doing exactly what they said they wanted for the past 7 days. Where are the Republicans? Why won't they talk with us? Why won't they work with us? And as soon as they do, what does he do? Because they don't mean a thing they say. When a tree breathes, oxygen is released. When a Democrat breathes, raw sewage of lies pollute the atmosphere.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you
Are
a
they
question.
wrong?
Your
Don
other,
Davis?
your other boss,
Are they wrong?
Your other boss, Mike Johnson. I challenged him to a debate
Yeah.
on the floor. Did he send you?
No, I'm here
On
on
his
my
behalf,
behalf
'cause
of
he's
my
afraid to
constituents,
debate. Is
because
that
you
right?
shut the government down. And my constituents are suffering as
Facts.
a result of your ridiculous
Facts.
ploy.
If
Because
they're
you're
all
so
facts.
afraid of Zoran Mandami. By the way, when are you endorsing him?
By the way,
do you endorse him for mayor?
First of all, are
Are you going to endorse him for mayor?
Listen, you're a complete and total embarrassment right now.
Oh my God. I mean, this is like, he's talking about himself. He's a total complete embarrassment. I mean, this is insanity. He hasn't offered one solution. This is a 5-minute video. Has anybody, let me know in the comments right now, has anybody heard one single reason to keep the government shut down? Has he even said one thing that wasn't a personal ad hominem attack? Wow, this guy is a filthy, low-down, dirty, unqualified, DEI hired dog.
Why is that? Because you don't want
He's an insult. I mean, I love dogs, so I'm not going to say dog. He's just a degenerate. I love dogs. It's an insult to call him a dog.
to answer the
Is
question.
this supposed to be a video for your failed
You don't want
re-election?
to.
Is
You
that
don't,
what's
you
going
don't
on
want to
right
answer
now?
the question. Do you support Zoran? By the way, did you see his
Listen.
statement yesterday?
Listen.
An embarrassment on October 7th, blaming the Jews. You support that? Should he be the Democratic?
See, he has nothing to say. He's stunned in his. He has nothing to say when he's not on MSNBC. When he's not on CNN getting puppy dog and ice cream softball questions. He's got Nathan.
Nominee for mayor.
First of all, I don't answer to you. You
Should
don't
he be
even
the Democratic
answer to
mayor?
yourself.
Should he be the
You don't
Democratic
even-
nominee?
You're an embarrassment to yourself. That's all he said.
So you think his statement yesterday was okay?
First of all,
All right. That's sad.
First of all,
It's unfortunate.
don't come with this phony
These are bills.
bill. No.
These are bills. They're not phony.
It's
They're
not
real
a bill
bills.
that Republicans are even.
I can't do it anymore. It's just the same old, back and forth. He didn't offer one smart, intelligent retort, rebuttal that involved critical thinking, that involved a careful analysis of the situation. This is why we can't endorse this CR, this clean resolution. This is why the government is being shut down. The truth is A, X, Y, Z, A, B, C. No. He says, you're making a fool of yourself. You're embarrassing yourself. Did your boss, he doesn't even call him president. Notice that? You got to pay very, very close. He doesn't even call him president. He says, did your boss, Donald Trump? And they all say the same thing over and over and over again. They have nothing, no track record, no achievements, no solutions, no answers. They have no backbone, no balls, no guts, no qualifications, no skills, no vision for America. They hate America with all intents and purposes. They're willing to see our country decay from the inside out because they know, and a lot of us know too, they know deep down in the pit of their vapid soul that they will not survive one day in the free market and in the free enterprise system, because the real world will see right through them. So what do? They import their voters, pure and simple. These are disgusting, treasonous acts of sedition, terrorist organization known as this video is probably going to get taken down. This podcast is probably going to get taken down, but I don't care. I have to say it. The Democrat Party is a terrorist organization. They are enemies from within. And the Constitution specifically stipulates one must defend American citizens and America from enemies both foreign and domestic. We have domestic terrorists. They are nothing. They haven't done. Give me one contribution. Give me one achievement that the Democrats have executed in the past 10 years. Give me one, just one achievement besides destroy our country. Ever since 2008, ever since the divider in chief got in there, it has been a downward spiral. They've controlled the government 12 of the last 16 years, and now everything's Trump's fault. Now everything is J.D. Vance's fault. Now everything is Stephen Miller's fault. Now everything is Secretary Scott Bessent's fault. Now everything is Department of War Secretary Hegseth's fault. Now everything is Melania's fault. Now everything is Eric Trump's fault. I mean, they have nothing, period. Okay. Oh, it just drives me nuts. Okay, I want to give a big, big shout out. Please tap that thumbs up. Jim Barron, thank you so much. You are the best. Robbie Reeder, R squared, I love you. Paul Harrison, hello, Professor Nez. Kamala Word Salad Harris is currently in Georgia promoting her book, How to Lose to a Real President in 107 Days. I love that, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Christopher Rental, thank you for gifting 5 new Professor Nez memberships. By the way, becoming a member, you get a whole bunch of perks, benefits. You get boosted engagement, exclusive content. You get active automatic registration into our live stream giveaways. I've given away thousands of dollars in Amazon gift cards, merch, and the whole 9 yards, as well as you get access to our members-only Discord. Thank you, Yvette. Congratulations on being a member for 11 months. It's great to see you. Laura Tilford, thank you for the gifted membership. China Baby, thank you so much. And congratulations, 18 months. I can't believe it. I love you, China Baby. Bernie Cifoletti, what am I, a schlamazel? Bernie, this woman looks as smug and arrogant as de Blasio. Yeah, that Katie Porter. You thank you for the $5 super chat. WR332, thank you for the $20 super chat. This is what, the third attempt to gerrymander the state in 30 years? God, I hope Democrats don't have the vote on this. I'm 43 and push policy, not feelings. These young adults need to see Gavin is terrible for California. Amen. WR332. I love it. Amen to you. Mountain Goddess, thank you so much, MG, for 5 memberships. You are awesome. It's great to see you. China Baby, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Bernie Cifoletti, $5 as professor. I pray to God that woman is not where near governorship in Cali. She's a female Bill de Blasio. 100%. They're all the same. They're all the same. Every single one of them is exactly the same. They haven't changed. I just want to say thank you guys so much. We're planning on doing a live stream giveaway very, very soon, if not this week. It's still tentatively planned. I've just got a few more kinks to work out. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you so much for watching. Please tap that thumbs up. Don't forget to check out the other videos that we just posted. And as always, may God bless you. And may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see